Hey, Mike, what do Kelly Slater and PT have in common?
I don't know. They're both world champs?
Nope, they both own Endless Summer box set.
Oh my God, rad. You guys, you can get it too. The link's in the show notes.
On a slippery, big guns like Mark Fu, trap jumping like a kangaroo.
Hey everybody, welcome to the QuiverCast, where we chat with surfers from all around the world, from all walks of life, and we get their story. Find us at www.thequivercast.com. I am Mike, your host. Let's get into the show. Hello, everybody. This is Mike here with the QuiverCast, and I got a super special guest, and I think it's my first European and definitely my first Irishman on the podcast. We got Gearoid Mcdaid. Did I say it right?
Pretty close. Gearoid Mcdaid.
Mcdaid. All right.
It's pretty hard unless you put an Irish accent on. It's pretty hard to say.
Is that a common name in Ireland?
There's a couple of people with it, but it's not super common. But there's even in Ireland, there's different ways of saying it from different parts of the country. They pronounce it differently, so it's a pretty funny one.
Yes, I like it. It's a cool name, but it's a challenge for me to say 100%.
Yeah, it's a challenge for everybody. Everyone struggles.
So, what part of Ireland are you from?
So I'm from Sligo. It's like the northwest of Ireland. Just grown up here and lived here my whole life, so pretty good.
Yeah, pretty. Is it cold?
Right now it's freezing. It was there was 2 inches of snow on the ground there yesterday, and today it was snowing all afternoon there just as we were surfing, so it's pretty cold.
No. Okay, so is it common to have snow?
There's always 1 or 2 days of snow every year, but it's not you don't usually have deep snow here or anything. It never really sticks. So yeah, it's not the most common thing for snow, but we do get it every once in a while.
Getting in your wetsuit and getting surfing, how do you get that motivation?
I suppose, yeah, just we're super lucky that the waves are pumping. When the waves are good, it makes it a lot easier. You just see the waves and you're super excited. You get changed super quick anyway, so you don't notice too much. But for sure, those windy days where it's onshore and not great, those days to get in the water when the waves aren't good and it's that cold, they're the tough days to go surfing. But yeah, it's worth it all in the end.
In the summer, does the water warm up quite a bit and the weather warm up, or how is it still kind of chilly?
To us it warms up, but to pretty much everyone else it's still pretty cold. We still got to wear 3-2 in the summer. It's pretty rare that you get anything warmer than that. The water gets up to 18, 19 degrees at its very, very warmest, the odd summer, but normally it would be 16, 17 every summer.
Man, it's cold. How did you get into surfing?
I got into surfing. My dad, he grew up Bundoran, Ballyshannon, just 40 minutes further north of where I am right now. And yeah, he kind of just randomly, him and his friends started surfing when they were in their 20s. So there wasn't very many people surfing back then in Ireland.
No.
And yeah, he got me, my brother and my sister all into it, bringing us out during the summers and stuff. And yeah, kind of then from when I was 10 years old, he brought me out a couple of days during the summer and I really loved it and just kept it going ever since then. And yeah, it's pretty much my dad just got me into it and he's just brought me around surfing every day ever since.
Wow. Did he throw you in a wetsuit? You didn't go out in the trunks, did you?
No. He had wetsuits and all for us the first time. Even in summer we had wetsuits here. So yeah, no, he wasn't torturing us.
Okay. You get hooked pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah, I
And
mean, like I took to it and just never really wanted to do anything else. I played a lot of other sports up until it, and then as soon as I started surfing, it pretty much quit every other sport and just started surfing.
okay, what other sports were you playing?
Oh, I used to play everything like basketball, golf, Gaelic. Like I don't know if you know what Gaelic and hurling is. They're like the two crazy
No,
Irish
what is that?
sports. They're like two Irish sports. Like one of them is like a cross between like soccer and rugby, and then the other
Okay.
one is like a cross between I don't know, like it's kind of like what like nearly like lacrosse to you, but like with like wooden
Okay.
sticks. So it's kind of similar to lacrosse, but yeah, a little bit different, different sticks and different ball, and yeah, a little bit different rules. If you looked at it from afar, it would look like lacrosse.
Oh, that's funny. Right on. So you get addicted to surfing. How'd your brother and sister do? Were they take to it like you?
Nah, my brother was super into golf. He took up golf pretty young, and my sister was super into basketball. So we all took up, got in super into different sports. And I mean, they still come surfing the odd time during the summer. They'll go out once in a while, but yeah, they didn't really take to it as much as I did.
Your dad was probably loving hanging out with you because he's going surfing all day with you.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like dad, like he's he hasn't surfed now the last couple of years, but like when we were younger, growing up, he just loved every single day that I was off school or he was off work. We'd just be gone surfing all day, every day. So it was pretty good being able to do that with your dad. I suppose every day, every single day.
Yeah,
He still loves coming surfing and hanging out and filming and stuff. So it's pretty great having him there all the time.
that's rad. Let's describe some of the ways I've seen your videos on Instagram, and dude, you guys are getting some slabby, gnarly waves.
Yeah, I mean over here all our waves are kind of reef breaks. Like our beach breaks are super average. It's really weird. Like every wave, every beach break is pretty terrible. But then like all the reefs and stuff get super heavy and super big and pretty scary sometimes. I mean, they're not like super shallow or anything, but it's just super heavy and yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty scary place in the cold, and a lot of people that come over here get scared because it's so cold and they're so heavy and stuff. So yeah, it's a good place to grow up.
Are you wearing a 5 mil?
Today I was in a 6 mil with six
Oh
mil
wow!
boots.
So the flexibility's not there.
No, you're super stiff, like super stiff, super heavy. You gotta like get different boards for summer and winter. Like you add on a couple of kgs and wetsuit and water and everything. So it's pretty hectic. It's a hard one to adjust to every year.
Wow. Most of us around the world have it. We're pretty spoiled, I guess, compared to what you have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean you're spoiled with some warm water and stuff. We get the colder water, but
Warm water.
it's pretty uncrowded here as well. So I suppose that's one thing we're blessed with.
Oh yeah. Well, good waves and uncrowded.
Yeah, exactly. You got to put in your time. You can go a couple of weeks and it'd be pretty stormy and not good waves, but then once it's good and yeah, you're surfing perfect waves with not very many people out, so it's pretty epic.
Your dad's going surfing with you, and you're surfing the average beach break starting off. How do you progress to get to those to where you are today?
We're actually pretty lucky here. Obviously, yeah, you start surfing the beach breaks and then there's like a couple of little like fun point breaks that you start getting into and then you progress. There's like super soft reefs that you start progressing, then one or two little heavier reefs. And then we've got this one mini slab that's like super easy, playful mini slab. And that's where you like go out and you start learning how to get barreled, going left and right. It's pretty playful, not super dangerous or anything. And then there's like, it's mad. You've got like one wave here that's fun, rippable. The next wave's like a mini kind of slab, pretty playful. Then just on the other side, there's like a little bit heavier of a slab, and then like a proper slab, and then down the road again, there's like an even heavier slab, and then you got like Mullockmore, which is obviously the biggest, heaviest one. So there is like a pretty good stepping stone to get as far as Molly. Yeah, we're pretty lucky. You don't have to just jump in the deep end. You get to ease yourself in by each step, which is pretty good.
That's rad. How hard was those steps for you? Every time you challenge yourself a little bit more, did it take a long time?
Yeah, it took it's still taking time. I'm still progressing
Yeah.
through those steps. Yeah, I mean, there was a while there that I was enjoying surfing slabs and stuff, but I was always super scared when it got anywhere kind of big and all that. And then I suppose just kind of one year, I just started to really push myself to try and get into bigger, better waves. And yeah,
Yeah.
just started forcing myself to go. And yeah, it's obviously still, I'm still super scared out there. And I've been injured a little bit for the last year. So trying to get back out there after injuries and stuff, it's like you got to start at the bottom again. You got to ease yourself back in. So it's pretty scary,
Yeah.
but I'm getting there now, and hopefully start pushing myself again soon. Now this year, in the next couple of weeks.
Your dad knowing surfing, does he ever like give you advice like, hey, it's too heavy out there or it looks good out there? Is he pushing you, I guess is the question.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I was younger, he was always pushing me. Like obviously, if there was stuff that was too big, he'd like let me go try, and then like if I came in, he'd be like, "Oh, look, you tried. There's always next time." Like it's good to
Mm-hmm.
try and take a couple of beatings and get used to it and all that. But like
It's crazy.
now it's like I'm trying to push myself to just go and get the biggest wave, best barrel that I can get. So he's still there watching on and making sure that we're all good out there.
It's so gnarly with your surfing. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around it. I guess maybe like Northern California or something, because I'm from California, would be somewhat similar, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose I've seen some pretty big stuff around Northern California, but like I don't know, like Mavericks and stuff. That's a whole nother level to what like. I don't think I even want to go to surf Mavericks. That thing looks it just looks too crazy and not really what I'm into. It's also a right. Don't really like going right too much.
No, but yeah, most of your shots are you have backside video, but your front side barrel riding is your strong point. I'm assuming that's what I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I mean, we're kind of blessed in the zone that I live in. It's majority lefts and left slabs. There is some right slabs around, but they're kind of a lot more fickle and hard to score. Like you've got the wave down at the Cliffs of Moher at Eileen's, and like that's kind of like the pinnacle of right big wave slabs in Ireland, and it's just so fickle and
Hmm.
hard to score at that. Only in the last couple of years, I've started putting in time out there, trying to get some, and took a long time. That wave is one of the scariest waves in the world, and I've started getting there, but yeah, still want to push myself further. So that is kind of a main goal, is to push myself in my backside barrels and try to get better in that side of thing. Everybody knows I don't like going right,
Okay.
so it's something I got to work on.
Oh, that's funny. You had a run at the QS. Why did you want to do it, and how's that going?
I mean, yeah, like growing up, I was super competitive in every single sport I did. I
Mm,
always like being in competition and all that, and I suppose it really pushes you and helps your surfing being in competition. And I still enjoy it and stuff. I still love going doing contests and stuff and all that. But I know like it's getting really expensive to do the QS and all that, and then try and do trips for swells and all that. So kind of like starting to ease out of the QS a little bit. I still might do a couple of
okay.
them if the waves are going to be good and stuff. But yeah, my main focus now is just try and get the best waves I can and make some sick clips and all that. But I still love competing. I'll go do invite contests if anyone wants to invite me to any barrel contest. I'd love to. I love going doing that. But
That's
yeah,
rad.
the QS, I'll still do a few because they are fun. You get to go hang out with all the boys that you've traveled with your whole life and stuff. So it's good crack, and yeah, it's just getting harder to do it now.
Yeah. You were just in the Canary Islands, right? And did pretty good.
Yeah, so that was for an invite, like special barrel contest. They just invite
Okay.
the people from all over the world, and yeah, that's at one of the best waves in the world. It's kind of like pretty similar to pipe kind of style. Um, and yeah,
Okay.
I've been lucky. I went on a couple of trips there and got to know the locals, and they started inviting me over to that comp, and it's always one of my favorite comps to do every single year. And this year it was on the day after Christmas. So like I missed
Okay.
Christmas at home, and that was a pretty big thing, missing
Yeah.
Christmas at home, but I did it to go that contest and score perfect waves with no one out. So it was worth it. I came away with a fourth. I would have loved to do better in the final. I had a bit of a shocker, but it's how it goes. I was still stoked to make the final and all that. So yeah, it was pretty great event.
What was the water temperature difference between when you left home to there?
The water temp there is so nice. I was like in a like 3-2. It's like the air temperature was like 23 to 25 degrees every day. So you're like rocking shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah.
You're sweet, and the water temps around 18, 19. So it's like warmer than summertime here. So getting away in the sun
Yeah.
for a few days like that it's so epic. Like there was nothing better. I think I need to go for a little defrost trip again soon.
Oh, that's right. Have you been to Hawaii?
I went when I was like 18 or 19. I went to Hawaii. I spent a couple of weeks out there on the North Shore. I was staying at one of the houses there right in front of Pipe. It was sick. It was a really cool experience, but I'm not sure if I'm too keen on going back again. It's too busy and yeah, pretty hectic and hard to get waves where I can just sit here and get better waves at home with nobody out. I just gotta battle the cold, but I think it's worth it for catching more waves and getting better waves with no one out.
Yeah. Well, it's completely two different worlds. They're not even almost relatable, except maybe the power of the waves, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the waves are like it's pretty similar, like the power of the waves, but yeah, it's a different world. Like sitting out in a lineup out there, like it's so hectic. Like everyone's like battling against each other. And like you sit out in a lineup at home, like it could be like 8 foot perfect slab, and it could just be you and two of your friends out there just like having a crack, just having banter in the lineup and stuff, and like
Yeah.
putting each other into waves, being like, "Nah, you go this one" or whatever. Like it's a complete different setup. It's mad.
Yeah. Did you get any good waves at Pipe? Did you get yourself into any?
I tried. I remember there was like a couple of days that I was like paddling out when it was like kind of big and onshore and nobody out just to try and find a couple. But like I'd always try and be the first one out every morning, and literally still
Mm-hmm.
you'd get one good wave, and then after that you're paddling back out, and there's like a line of like 50 guys paddling out beside you, and you're just like, oh, here comes a 3 hour surf with two waves.
Yeah. I mean, okay. But how did it feel being in trunks?
Yeah, I mean, I do like wearing boardies and stuff, but I guess just
Yeah.
I've been so used to wearing a wetsuit. I feel so much more
Okay.
comfortable and confident in a wetsuit. It's mad. Like a lot of
Really?
people will be
That's
like,
interesting.
"Oh, yeah." Like perfect setup would be like a 3-2 and a pair of boots.
Really?
That's what I
Wow.
love. Like
Interesting. Okay.
I love wearing boots and I love being in a wetsuit. I just like feel naked without a wetsuit. It's weird.
Oh man. Okay. I can't imagine that, but all right. The
I know.
cold. Yeah. About Irish surfing and the surf community there.
So like the Irish surf scene is it's really cool. Like it's pretty tight knit. Everybody knows each other. Like even the guy, like I don't know, I can travel like 4 or 5 hours south, and I'll still know everybody in the water. Like it's pretty tight knit community. Everybody's friends and friendly, and it's growing a lot. Like in the last couple of years, it is starting to get a little bit busier in the lineups and stuff. But like it's still so chill. Like you get everyone's still super nice, and like it's definitely the best surf community I've seen anywhere else in the world. Like from all the old boys that have been doing it forever, and then like right down to like there's a load of heaps of groms coming up now, which is sick. And yeah, it's just everyone's just like friends out there. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty sick. So it is good to see, and good to see a lot more groms coming up. And I think the level of Irish surfing is gonna be getting pushed a lot in the next few years with all the groms that are coming up.
Yeah. Who is the Irishman that everyone's looking up to? Who's the guy that when they paddle out, everyone knows who he is and he kind of dominates? Is there somebody?
I don't know. There's like it's kind of, I don't know if there's anyone that everyone looks up to or not. Like I know there's like a couple of
Okay.
guys that when I paddle out on like big heavy days, there's like 4 or 5 guys that I'm watching, and I'm like, all right, I need to try and like I see them get a bomb. I'm like, all right, I gotta get a better one than them, and like that kind of thing. It's like a
You're competing
friendly.
against them.
It's like a friendly, like
Yeah.
healthy, competitive thing, and that's what it's good to push you. And yeah. So I don't. There's nobody ever like super dominating or anything like that. Everyone's just like trying to push each other and get better waves. Really.
How far away is like your house from the water? Is it relatively close?
Well, right now I've just moved and I'm living literally just on the beach. But I used to live like
Wow.
about 20 minutes away from the beach in my parents' house. So I just moved
Okay.
to a little apartment. And yeah, it's literally, if I looked out my window there, I'd be able to see the water. But it's just like the beach I grew up surfing. And then,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, it's Strand Hill where I grew up. And Bundoran is where kind of the main slabs are and stuff, which is like 20-30 minutes away. So it's a
Okay.
pretty chill drive. It's not too bad. And pretty much do it every day. There's waves. But yeah, pretty excited. Like, in summer to be living on the beach and be surfing fun waves. So yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. That's the life, man, right?
Yeah, can't really beat it.
No. Let's just put Ireland in the whole country of all the people. Are they aware that there is surfing in Ireland, and what do they think about it?
Yeah, for sure. Like a couple of years ago, if you had asked some people, they would have said, "Oh, there's no surfing in Ireland or whatever." But it is getting a lot bigger. It's getting a lot more like mainstream notice, and like if there's a big pumping day at Mullockmore and stuff, like it's been on the news and stuff like that. So everyone knows there's good waves in Ireland, and I think it's gonna just keep growing and stuff. More mainstream brands are gonna like start using surfing more in their ads and all that, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna put more money into surfing in Ireland, and hopefully help out some of the Groms coming forward, and hopefully help me out
Yeah.
with keeping my career going as well. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
but
awesome.
for sure it's getting bigger.
You do have sponsors. Who are your sponsors? And that's super rad that they're helping you.
So I'm super lucky at the moment. Like as soon as I left school, I was super lucky. I was sponsored by Rip Curl and Monster Energy, and like a couple of the local shops and stuff around here used to sponsor me when I was a kid, which was epic. Like they really supported me, and I wouldn't be where I am today without the local shops supporting me on some trips
Yeah.
and getting to contests and stuff. But yeah, so now my main two sponsors are Rip Curl and Monster, and they've been supporting me since I left school. So it's pretty epic to be able to call what you love doing your career and your job. So gonna try and keep it going for as long as I can.
So actually, let's talk about your sponsors real quick. And usually I don't talk about sponsors, but Rip Curl is the perfect sponsor for you because you're in the cold. I mean, you're the guy. You're using their wetsuits.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
You can't
always
live without it.
No, definitely something you need. And to be honest, their wetsuits are so good. Like I'm always roasting. I'll like wear my wetsuits for like a year straight, and like I surf a lot, like probably more than the average person. So I'll wear them like 3-4 times a
Of course.
day, and then like I'll give them
Wow.
to like my friends rent the next year, and they're just like, "Oh, this wetsuit's so warm still." Like they're so good. It's mental, and yeah, so it's a pretty good brand to link up with, and they love the cold water and
Yeah.
the search for perfect waves, which is pretty much what I love doing too. So can't really beat it.
And then monster, you can slam a monster before you go surf.
Exactly. Sometimes when it's cold in the mornings, you need to slam it
Oh yeah.
to wake yourself up and give you that energy to paddle out there. So yeah, you can. They're pretty good combination sponsors to have, and yeah, it's pretty sick.
It's a great combination. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Okay,
I'm stoked.
let's talk about the rest of the island. So you're kind of in you're getting a lot of those like swells, like that are spinning out to the Atlantic, right?
We get so it's like coming from the Atlantic, so they're like west northwest swells for us. They're coming from
Okay.
America. They're coming from New York
Oh
across.
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
they're coming. If you're in New York, they'd be east swells, but they're for us. They're west.
No, I got you. Yeah.
It's a
Sorry.
hard geography. Oh, good.
No,
But
I'm picturing it, but yeah,
yeah,
you're West
yeah.
Coast.
Yeah, so we're the West Coast. We get like all these west northwest swells that like hit into us, and then like right up around the northern side of the country, there's some really fun waves, and pretty much the whole coast like gets good waves on different swells. Like south swells, we go drive a couple hours south down to like the cliffs of Moher and stuff, and
Hmm.
they pick up all the south swells. So yeah, I mean Ireland's not very big, so you can drive it in 4 or 5 hours. The different swell directions gets picked up. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. What about on the east side? It's kind of sheltered. They still
Yeah,
get waves over on that side, or is it pretty flat?
the East Coast, like you got like that's over by like Dublin and stuff. There is some waves.
Yeah.
I've surfed over there like once. I just was lucky that I
Okay.
like was flying in from a trip and I spotted a little swell, and they've got some fun little beach breaks and stuff, which is cool. And it's pretty cool surfing on the East Coast. It feels a lot different than surfing over here. It's like I don't know. It's a lot different. It's like such a small little sliver of ocean that yeah, the waves
Yeah.
are pretty jumped up, like short period swells. They can't really build up, but they've
Like
got some
Windswell.
fun little bit. Yeah, mostly wind swells, but they do get waves, and it's fun going over there for the odd little swell and get some waves.
Where are some of the other places besides Hawaii and Canary Islands have you been to?
Oh, I've been everywhere really. Like couple
Really
trips to
cool.
couple trips to Indo. Like the last couple of years, I've been like through South America quite a lot. Like been
Hmm.
Nicaragua, been Chile, Ecuador, El Salvador. Um, I don't know, like Barbados,
Yeah.
Martinique. I've been through like a lot of it. I've been to California, like all with surfing and
Okay.
stuff. So it's been pretty epic being able to travel to all those places and score fun waves everywhere and getting to see all the different places. Didn't call it my job at the same
Okay.
time.
That's rad. I mean, that's a dream,
Yeah.
right? A lot of these places you're saying are warm water, and you don't necessarily feel as comfortable as in a wetsuit. Are you looking for more and more cold water destinations, or like what's your future? Do you have some ideas of where you want to go surf?
Yeah, for sure. I've got some ideas of places I want to go. Like, I suppose a different time of year, really. Like for like
Yeah.
our winter, it's cold, and you're in the northern hemisphere. Everything's pretty cold, and then like kind of in our summer it goes pretty flat. So that's when you kind of go to the more southern hemisphere places, and they're warmer. Like I really want to go down to West Oz, try get some waves down there, and
Oh yeah.
because it's kind of similar to here. It's a little bit warmer and stuff, and they've got some
Yeah.
crazy good waves. So I'd love to. That's kind of on the bucket list in the next few years to try and get over there. But yeah, I suppose it's just we get so much swells in winter that you don't leave home as much. I do a couple of strike missions and stuff throughout Europe, but like yeah, you
Okay.
don't really want to go too far away in case there's a good swell coming from home.
So West Oz, you said you want to go, and you also said that backside's kind of you're more comfortable going front side. Would you charge the box on a solid day?
Go paddle out and have a look. We'll go. We'll go try it for sure.
Does that look like waves you get that you are surfing daily? Similar?
look like a reverse of some of the lefts that we have.
Really?
Yeah, we've got some waves that are like, if it was a right, it would look just like the box. I mean, we have a couple of rights that are similar as well, so we get some
Yeah.
good training for it. But yeah, we'll give it a crack.
Have you ever found yourself out there in the lineup, on a building swell, and you're like, oh shit, like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, to be honest, it happened super recently. Like a couple of weeks ago, we were down at Eileen's, like at the Cliffs of Moher, and like we paddled out. It looked super nice from the shore, and then real big periods started coming in, and there was like these like 20-foot closeout sets that you had to
No.
dodge, and like I was like, oh, the boys were like, even like the boogs and stuff that charge like crazy waves, they were all struggling. Like only
Wow.
only one or two people caught waves that day. Like they got some psycho waves, and they put themselves in crazy positions. And but yeah, I was definitely taken aback and pretty scared out there to put myself in the position to like take one of those closeouts on the head. So I enjoyed watching that session.
Wow. Because you guys, I'm guessing, and I don't know, we have Surfline here, so they have a kind of prediction, like, what's happening. Do you guys have the same swell forecast? Do you know how do you guys get your swell forecast?
Yeah, I mean, we use Surfline, we use Magic Seaweed a lot, and then like a couple of the other, like just all the weather maps and stuff for the winds and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but here's such a hard one to call. You can look at the charts as much as you want and think you know what's going to happen, but you never really know. Like it can change so much. Like today was meant to be howling onshore all day, and it was howling onshore this morning, and I was like, oh, I'm not surfing today. And
Hmm.
then like I literally was just having a coffee down at the beach, and I was like, oh fuck, it's gone offshore. And like it was so random, and it was offshore for like 2 or 3 hours and then went back onshore. Like you just get these random little windows. Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's impossible to call here.
Now you're living on the beach. That's why you're living on the beach, so you can just charge it real quick.
Yeah, pretty much. It's definitely a bonus. I wouldn't have noticed it all today if I was at home that it'd gone offshore. So yeah, it's a good bonus.
Right. Yeah. In the surf community in Ireland, you obviously there's wetsuits are more easily found than let's say in the 70s or 60s. I don't know when Irish surfing exactly started, but I know I've seen a movie, 60s it was kind of coming to become a sport in Ireland.
Yeah.
But these guys were building their own wetsuits and stuff. You guys have more access to equipment now than you used to.
Oh yeah, it's pretty funny. Like my dad used to tell me, like when they were going surfing, they'd be wearing like dive suits. They were in like two parts and like trying to like fight for the legs or fight for the top with between their friends. They might have had like one or two between like three or four guys, and
Oh shit.
like they'd wear like the like marigold gloves, like dishwashing gloves. That would be like
Yes.
the gloves they'd wear and stuff. And yeah, it
No
sounded
way.
next level. So I don't know how they did that. We're way too lucky now. We've got all this amazing wetsuits and technology to keep us warm, and we're still complaining about the cold. So yeah, the first surfers in Ireland were pretty hardcore.
Hardcore. Like, yeah, I don't. Once again, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, wow.
Yeah, I definitely could not have done what they were doing. Yeah, that stuff was crazy.
Wow. And how's it? Is there like local shapers around? Or are you guys getting boards more imported from like America or like Lost Surfboards or Almerics or what?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of local shapers around here now at the moment. But yeah,
Cool.
there's still people importing boards. You've got all the shops that bring boards in from Europe and all that. So there's a mix of people riding local shapers and people riding any brand that's brought in. Like you've got all the brands have their own little headquarters in Europe and stuff. So they get brought in from Europe and shaped in Europe, all like Merrick's, Lost, everything like that. So yeah, there's a solid mix of all the different boards you can get here. You can get anything really.
What kind of boards are you riding?
Right now I'm riding Fourth surfboards. They're from England. They sponsor
Okay.
me and like sort me out with boards and stuff. And yeah, they're super sick. So it's pretty good. They've been looking after me for the last couple of years, so it's really good.
With that being said, what's your dimensions on your board? Like, are you riding a bigger board because you're riding beefier waves?
I mean, like I've got like my short boards, which are like 5'9", 5'10",
Okay.
and then like you got your 6'2", 6'3" for like your kind of heavy, like bigger slabs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I've got an 8.0 and an 8.6 then for Molly. So like they're kind of your big wave boards that we have here, and yeah, so you need a bit of mix of everything for your fun small waves up until your big heavy slabs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk about your little movie you have.
Domestic
Yeah.
tourist, that one.
Yes, that one's a
Yeah,
good one. I like
yeah.
it.
Cheers. That was just from around like the year of COVID. Nobody could travel. We were just
Yeah.
stuck at home, and I was pretty lucky. Like everyone else in the country, you couldn't like leave your go further than 2 kilometers from your house. But I was pretty lucky.
Okay.
They brought out a rule that if you're an athlete, you can travel to train. So that was a bit of a loophole for me. I was traveling to
Yeah, that's
train every
rad.
day. So yeah, it was pretty sick. I was able to travel and surf every day, and it was really lucky that winter, pumped all winter, and I just surfed all day every day and scored epic waves. It was sick.
So the guys you normally surf with, the regular surfers that aren't like competitive surfers, were they also considered athletes and be able to go surf with you, or were they stuck at home?
You could surf if you lived like by the beach. You could surf. There was nothing like to stop you. If you were living in like within your 5K or whatever, you could go surf. And
Yeah.
obviously, people were kind of nobody. Everyone was trying to risk driving around and stuff and dodging police checkpoints and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty funny.
Oh, they were
Um,
literally doing checkpoints?
yeah, like
Wow.
there would be checkpoints set up in all random places, and like you'd be driving around, and like
Wow.
people were getting fined and shit. It was next level, like the stuff they were doing. And yeah, everyone was risking it to go try surf.
Right on. So you were being an athlete. So how did you have to register through the government to say I'm a professional athlete?
Yeah, I got like a letter from like my sponsors and all that, and a letter from like the federation and saying I was training and all that, and like it was pretty sweet. Like the police here are pretty nice. They're not super bad, so like they give you a lot of leeway. Like once you said anything, they were pretty sweet. We never had too much trouble or with them or anything, so it was pretty epic.
But the lineups were more empty than normal too.
They were, but a lot of people moved over to the coast from Dublin during it because they couldn't do anything in Dublin. So like there was still like people in the water every day, and a lot of people live beside the
Oh, okay.
waves. So like if you live in Bundoran, you
Yeah.
live within 5 kilometers of pretty good waves. So it was still pretty busy.
So when you film that film, who's doing the filming?
That was my friend Clem McInerney. He's a pretty epic filmmaker. He's done a lot of my stuff in the last couple of years. Started filming with him when I was pretty young, and we've we've made a couple of like short movies together, and they always
Yeah.
work together really well. And yeah, having someone like that who's super dedicated to just always be there on the day to film is pretty epic. And yeah, he's helped me out a lot in the last couple of years, so it's great being able to work with people that you call your friends. Really, it's epic.
Yeah, that's good. Does he surf?
Yeah, Clem rips. He surfs all the time. He loves getting in. We always try and get him in, get him out as much as we can. And but he's pretty. He loves filming too, so he's always on the shore filming at the same time.
Oh, that's rad. That's hard for the video guy or the filmer guy. You have to love to do it because you're missing a lot of good surfs.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I see a lot of guys that are filmers and stuff, and they rip like they surf super well. And I'm like, how do you sit there and watch perfect waves every day and not want to go surf? I don't know how they do it. Like it's crazy. So fair play to them. They must really like filming.
Yeah. So, along with you being an Irish surfer, and what did you say? Is it the Irish Surfing Federation, or who runs the governing body of surfing there?
Yeah, we've got the Irish Surfing Federation. That's the Irish Surf Association. That's the federation around here. So yeah. they run it, and it's great. They put on contests, run the nationals, and all that. So yeah, it's good that they help out a lot.
And through the years, how have you done in the nationals?
I don't know. I won all the junior age groups. I think I won the men's one like 5 or 6 times or something.
Wow.
So yeah.
Multiple national champ, huh?
Yeah. It's pretty fun going doing it, mixing it up with all the boys here. It's pretty fun. They're fun contests, and yeah, they're a good crack, and love doing them.
Okay. Now, in the bigger body, is there a European body that kind of oversees all the different European countries that surf?
Yeah, so there's like the European Surfing Federation, and then there's like the European titles that are on every 2 years or something. The
Yeah.
European titles are on, and then obviously they like that's all for like the kind of national bodies and stuff, and then obviously you've got the QS other than that. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's always like a where you surf for your team, same as like the ISAs,
Yes.
just within Europe. So it's pretty good. It's good fun going doing them too. It's kind of like a training for the ISAs for the Europeans. It's pretty good.
Right. With that being said, where are some of the places you've been to in Europe? Like, did you surf France, or where else have you been?
Pretty much everywhere in Europe: Iceland,
Okay.
Scotland,
Ooh, Iceland.
Norway, France, Spain, Portugal. Yeah, been all of them.
Rad. How's Scotland compared
Scotland's
to
pretty
like you where
sick.
you are?
It's
It
colder.
looks sick.
It's colder.
It's
It's definitely,
colder?
yeah, it's even colder than here.
No way. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, it's mad. So it's pretty. It's cool though. There's really good waves up there too. It's sick.
Yeah. What about Iceland? How cold's that? Oh my goodness.
Iceland is next level cold. It was like -10 and stuff when we were there. It was crazy.
You still went out?
Oh, we surfed every day, yeah, but only once, and yeah, it was like you're walking through like 2, 3 foot of snow all the time to get waves and stuff. It was hectic.
Jeez. Now, what inside you? I don't understand. You gotta help me understand here. What inside you says the way? I mean, obviously you're looking at the waves and you're envisioning surfing in them, but to actually get the wetsuit on and get your ass out there, it seems crazy to me.
So yeah, Iceland.
Just the motivation. I just can't wrap my head around your motivation. Like, how the heck you do it?
We were on a trip for Monster, and like a magazine trip for Monster
Okay.
and the guys at Wasted Talent. It's like a magazine run in France, and so yeah, we had a pretty good setup. Like we had places to dry, make sure our wetsuits are dry every night, and yeah, and we were filming and stuff, and the waves were pretty pumping. We had like super fun rippable waves every day, so just like you'd always be getting changed into warm and go out, and it was a crazy experience. Like just walking down mountains in like 2, 3 foot of snow is kind of it's a pretty surreal experience, and that was kind of pretty good motivation to be able to experience that, and yeah, just literally score really fun waves with the craziest backdrops with nobody out.
That's awesome. In my world, in America, we have, and I live in Oceanside, which is right down the street from like Sacramento, which is kind of the hub of the surfing world, kind of.
Yeah.
And in Australia, you got the Gold Coast and stuff. A lot of the press comes from America or from Australia. Do you see the same press as I do? Or are you seeing more European stuff? Like,
I see the same press. Like I follow all the same the same surf media and all that. So I see everything, but
yeah,
it's definitely like all the main news comes from like Australia and America. It's like I feel like
yeah,
the stuff that happens in Europe can sometimes be a whole lot better and it just gets kind of brushed away because it's not in America or Australia. So it's
right.
definitely a whole lot harder over here than those places. Yeah, well, I think Europe's starting to break in and yeah, a bit bigger now, so it's good.
Well, that's my question. Like, how is that going to be? You guys are underrepresented, I believe, and you guys probably overall, if you just put Europe and even Ireland, have a higher quality of waves than most places in the world. It's just cold.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if it is just the cold that like stops the people coming or what, but yeah, literally within Europe, there's the I don't know anywhere else that has as good a waves as we have, like because you can go anywhere in Europe on like a 2 hour flight and like get
Yeah.
like all different types of waves. Like you've got like Morocco that has like the best right points in the world. You've got Portugal with like some crazy slabs, epic points and epic beach breaks. France, the best beach breaks in the world. And then you've got here, pumps all the time. Scotland is sick. And it's just like, yeah, nobody, it's definitely, they just, I don't know what it is. People like to come for trips and stuff like that, but yeah, nobody. It seems to be getting. It definitely gets brushed under a little bit.
Yeah. Is there an actual surf tourism kind of going on there, or not really?
um, Kind of like in Portugal and stuff. There's a lot of like surf tourism is huge. They really push it, and in France and
Okay.
stuff. And I think it's kind of they're starting to use it. Like it's going to be starting a lot more in the next couple of years in Ireland too. Like the whole surf tourism thing is they're starting to realize that there's a full market there for it. So yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
that'll help it grow and be pretty sick. I mean, it's always going to be the other side. It's going to get busier and stuff, but I think that's just the way everything is going now. More people are starting to do things, and it's just how it's going to be. But yeah, can't you can't have it both ways, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, you have it so good, no crowds, perfect waves.
Yeah,
It could be, it could get ugly too. You know what I mean? It could get overpopulated.
I don't know. A lot
Maybe
of
not in your time, but
people have been saying that for the last 20, 30 years. Oh, it's going to get busy. Like people putting out all these photos and videos and stuff. But like, I think the people will come maybe for like a month or two, like in October, November when it's still pretty warm and stuff. But like, as soon
yeah,
as December, January, February comes, nobody wants to be here. Like we still get epic
that's right.
waves and stuff. The stuff you have to go through to get them is pretty next level. Unless you're prepared and willing to do it, it's pretty hardcore.
What about guarding your breaks? Are there places that are kind of sacred where you're not letting outsiders come in?
I mean, people try. Like, I don't really care. Anyone can go. I don't believe I have any right to tell people to not surf anywhere. Like, I don't own any waves.
Okay.
So, like, there's
Yeah.
people, like, you'll get guys that be like, oh, like, who told them about this spot? Who told them about that? But, like, I'm like, just as long as everyone goes, you can go there, surf, respect the locals, let them get their waves, and it's all good. Like just don't hassle or drop in or be a nuisance in the water. But yeah, there is some spots that people get angry about if you like film and stuff. But like, I don't know, don't really agree with it too much. Who gives you the right to say you can surf that wave and other people can't? So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
The history of Ireland and surfing. Do you know that history at all?
I
Besides,
know,
I guess your father was part of that.
yeah, I know, like, there's actually like a full like movie they brought out. It's called the Silver Surf Safari in Ireland, and they
Okay.
like fully go through like the whole history of surfing, how it started, and literally, talk about the whole thing and how people got into it, started bringing boards, started bringing wetsuits, and how it grew and stuff, and the families that made it grow. And you got like the Britton family up in Rosnarla. They were like a big influence on surfing in Ireland. They were kind of like one of the first families of surfers to do it like around here. I know, like they say,
Yeah.
the guy who was the first surfer was Kevin Cavey, who was from Dublin, and like he still surfs the
Yeah.
odd time. You see him out in the lineup and stuff. It's pretty sick. But
That's
yeah,
rad.
it's pretty cool that like all the like older guys that started surfing in Ireland, and they're still in the water. Like you're still surfing with guys that were some of the first surfers, and they're still out there charging every day. It's pretty sick to see.
Okay, that's rad. That's super cool. So the godfather of surfing, you can surf alongside him, and it's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's mad. Like guys like that are still here, like still going surfing and stuff. It's sick.
Yeah, that's rad. Okay, now this is some personal questions I have to ask you. Not about you, but like just I have some questions I want to know about Ireland.
Yeah.
So how many people tell you they're Irish, even though they're American or Australian or something?
Oh, fuck, a lot. I was in California there this summer, and like, I swear, every single person we were walking down the street was like, "Oh, I'm part Irish. I'm part Irish," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck, so is everybody in the world."
Oh, that's funny.
It's pretty funny, nah,
So-
but it's good. It means everybody loves us. Like everyone loves the Irish, so everyone's got connections, and it's sick having connections all over the world. So it's epic. I love it.
That's rad. Yeah. Oh, actually, okay. One more thing. The Olympics. How was that? Like for the ISA Olympics?
Hard to qualify at the moment, and it's still going. Like I'm going to be doing the qualifier this year now in El Salvador.
Yeah.
For the 2024 Olympics.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the main goal is to try and qualify for that, because that next year is going to be at Chops.
That's
so
your wave, right?
that would be a pretty. Yeah, I've never been, and I would really love to go. So if I can somehow qualify it, it would be pretty sick.
I hope you do. I'm cheering you on
Thank you,
because I want to see you charge that left. I think you'll do pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys come over here and like they're like say how much easier Chops is than a lot of the waves we have. So yeah, who knows? But I'd love to give it a go and see how we
right
go.
on, dude. I'm cheering you on. I'm from here, from America. All right, Gearoid.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on the QuiverCast. This is Mike and Gearoid are out of here. Later.
Cheers.
100 foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You boo on my didgeridoo. They calling me dude. I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop. She grabbing a hold of my leggy. They jelly, they Gucci my weddy. The fridge of Giuseppe, the chain is so heavy. She thinks that I'm charging the Eddie. 100 foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. Surf trap, I'm stacking that money. Cash. 4 shots, a red Ferrari. He starts to calling me Dundee. Diamonds are surfing McFlurry. She want me to teach her to surf. Splash. I'm pulling up, ripping the verse. I'm leaving these kooks in the hearse. They get moved 100 foot on their head, they get work. 100 foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. 100 foot out choke food. 100 racks on a surf dude. Slippery, big guns like Mark Food. Trap jumping like a kangaroo. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You calling me dude, I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. You know we don't fuck with no kooks. They calling me dude, I'm stacking the loot. I'm ripping your chick in the coop.
Hey, you guys, Endless Summer box set. This thing is legit. It's authentic, numbered certificate in it. It has a 5-frame film strip from the original print. You literally own a piece of history. It has a specially minted bronze medallion. Dude, that thing's sick. Okay, there's so much more here. Go to the show notes. There's a link on there. Go check this piece of history out. This thing's rad. Seriously. Smithsonian American History Museum has it. It took 4 years of research with 3.5 in production, all hand assembled. This thing's rad. So much to this awesome box set. Remastered DVD, sharper images than the original film, but dude, this thing's so sick. Link in the show notes.